And Parade Marshal Kathy Hawk leads the field out onto the track for the first of 11 races tonight with exact and trifecta wagering. First race kicks off the double. Number 1 is Elegant Elgon, owned by Jeff Brewer with Elliott Deaton. The 2 is Southern Pocket, owned by Carl May, the driver Bob Harper. 3 is J.R. Cinnamon, owned by John Barnes, and he drives. 4 is Cincy Jackie, owned by Mirel Moore with Mark Winters. 5 is Luxinja, owned by Cindy Swagler with Roy Wilson. 6 is Sandman's Impact, owned by Ronald Geilerman with Jeff Neisanger. 7 is Marcia's Sharp Girl, owned by Leo Banks. The driver is Dave Hawk. The 8 horse is She's a BJ, owned by Everett Sams Jr. with Jack Daly. 9 Gayoko, owned by Stevens and Nocera, Greg Grismore. And the 10 horse is Vicious Circle, owned by Dan Ryan. The driver is Del S. Miller. You have just 3 minutes until post time for the first race, less than 3 minutes. The starting gate is rolling for the first race. First race field in the backstretch, and there they go. And they're off and pacing. Cincy Jackie from between horses takes the lead. Forwardly placed is Luxinja, who will drive into the pocket, and Gayoko left well from the far outside. Next we come down to J.R. Cinnamon. Marcia's Sharp Girl made a nasty break. 3.5 lengths behind J.R. Cinnamon. We come down to Southern Pocket. Marcia's Sharp Girl recovered on the outside, is about 8 lengths off the pace. And then we come down to She's a BJ, followed up alongside by Sandman's Impact, Elegant Elgon, and Vicious Circle is last as they pace past the opening quarter in 29 seconds flat. In front of the stands for the first time, and Gayoko parked through the first quarter, now clears the top, opens up by 2. Cincy Jackie back to second. Luxinja third, gap of 2. J.R. Cinnamon is fourth. Next in line we have Southern Pocket. Those 5 make up the first flight. Then it's a gap of 3 more to Marcia's Sharp Girl. To the inside of She's a BJ. Following cover, Sandman's Impact, Elegant Elgant, and Vicious Circle brings up the rear. Over to halftime. Leading the way, it's Gayoko. Gayoko on the lead. First over out of the 3-hole is Luxinja. Now in a second position. Cincy Jackie back to third. J.R. Cinnamon comes to the outside, trying to catch cover fourth. Half in 1 minute and 1/5. 3.5 lengths farther back, Southern Pocket is about 7 off the pace, retreating fifth. Up alongside She's a BJ in sixth position. Then it's the pair of Sandman's Impact. Marcia's Sharp Girl is nearest the rail with Elegant Elgon just in behind, and Vicious Circle is last. Approaching the 3/4, and Luxinja has sprinted clear to a 3-length lead. J.R. Cinnamon takes up the chase now in second, followed by Cincy Jackie, and Gayoko is backing out of it. 1:30 flat for 3/4. Moving around to head stretch. It's all Luxinja up top, leading it tied 2.5 lengths. J.R. Cinnamon into second, followed by Cincy Jackie, 3.5 lengths further back to Gayoko, and She's a BJ turning into the stretch. And this one is Luxinja on top by 3. J.R. Cinnamon, Cincy Jackie is drifting wide. Luxinja shortening up, but going to win it by 2.5 lengths. J.R. Cinnamon second, Cincy Jackie third, 2 minutes and 1. Old Bay Mare by Look Sharp, out of Marta Ann by Puppet, owned by Cindy Swagler of Lebanon. Trained and driven by Roy Wilson, 2 minutes and 1, the time for the mile. Here are the trotters on the course for the second race. This one's sponsored by Steeplechase Village Rentals. Number 1 is Rose Run Cecil, owned by Roger Wallace with Sandy Beatty. The 2 is Took the Call, owned by Joseph Lanning, Dave Hawk the driver. 3 is Look Mom Look, owned by Cameron Morrow, Farrington and Justin, Don Feaster. 4 is JR, owned by Snelling and the Seville Farm, Terry Holton drives. 5 High Kevin, owned by Patricia and Kevin Cross, Kurt Sugg. 6 Benzilla, owned by Tremonti and Mullinax, Kelly O'Donnell. And the 7 is Come and Cheer, owned by Shakari Patel with Marty Woolham. And just in behind is the 1 Rose Run Cecil. Trotters in the backstretch. There they go. And they're off. Come and Cheer spots the field about 4 lengths. It's High Kevin from the center of the track who goes out for the lead with Look Mom Look just to his inside. Then we have Rose Run Cecil who comes away in 3rd position. Bit rough gated on the outside is Took the Call. A gap of 2 lengths farther back to JR, who's about 10 off the early tempo. Then it's 2 more to Benzilla, and Come and Cheer is last. Moving ahead stretch for the first time, and High Kevin leads the way. It's High Kevin from Look Mom Look in 2nd. Gap of 3 lengths back. Rose Run Cecil is 3rd, opening quarter, 29 seconds flat. 2.5 in behind Rose Run Cecil. We have Took the Call, who has settled in 4th position. 2 more to JR. Then we have Benzilla and the trailers Come and Cheer as they pass under the wire with 5/8 to go. High Kevin on the inside. Look Mom Look swings to the outside, but it looks like he's going to duck right back in there as they race around the turn. It's High Kevin who maintains the lead. Look Mom Look now along the inside 2nd. 2 back Rose Run Cecil 3rd. Another 2 more to Took the Call racing in 4th position. Then we have JR, Benzilla, and Come and Cheer, and they're through a half and it's not posted. Rounding the turn into the backstretch, High Kevin leads up top by 2 lengths. Look Mom Look is 2nd. There goes Dave Hawk and Took the Call. First over, gaining ground on the outside 3rd. Followed by Rose Run Cecil, who's gapped in 4th. JR to the inside 5th. Benzilla up alongside with 6 to make up and gaining ground. And 2.5 more to Come and Cheer, who looks to get into it now but still trails the field. Throughout the 3/4, High Kevin leads the way. High Kevin 2 lengths farther back to the pair of Took the Call and Look Mom Look. Moving around to head stretch, it's High Kevin on top. Took the Call, still moving up on the outside in 2nd, followed by Look Mom Look, who is slowly losing ground at the rail in 3rd, followed by Benzilla, who comes into contention 4th, and they're trotting through the stretch. High Kevin leads the way by 3. Took the Call comes into 2nd, followed by Look Mom Look and Benzilla the far outside. High Kevin is on top by 3, and they're not going to get him. It's High Kevin, Benzilla up 2nd, and Took the Call 3rd. High Kevin back into the winner's circle. First win this season, a 3-year-old brown colt by High Noon Star. At a Whims Speedy Bev by Speed in Action by Titian Kevin Cross of Macedonia, Ohio. Steve Cross trains. Kurt Sugg, the winning driver. It's official. $5-6 exacta, $48 even. The try 5-6-2, $178.60. And in the daily double, a pair of 5s gets you $27 even. Are on the track for tonight's 3rd race. With exact and superfecta wagering, no changes. Number 1 is Mark Set Go by Harry Altop with Jack Daly. The 2 is Add a Penny by Jody Twombly with Jeff Fount. From post 3, it's Fun Bunch by the SmackDown stable with Todd Jones. Number 4 is Jeff Brewer's Roger Wallbanger and Elliot Deaton driving. 5 is Rock's Big Boy by Darrell Sams, Bobby Harper in the bike. 6 is Soul Brother owned by Cummins and Kester's Trent Bates. 7 is Bert's Brother Ernie owned by Betty Jean Jordan with Chip Noble. The 8 is No Control by Brent Davis with Dave Hawk. 9 is Mr. Canwell owned by Janine Ross, the driver Greg Grismore. And the 10 horse is Nukes Express owned by Charles Autry with Del S. Miller. Now 4 minutes, just 4 minutes until post. Third race field lined up and set to go. And they're off. Fun Bunch is away well for the lead, followed by Add a Penny towards the inside. Soul Brother up alongside. And then we come to Mr. Candwell. Mark Said Go is nearest the rail. Gap of 3.5 lengths farther back to Roger Wallbanger, then 2 more to Nukes Express. Rock's Big Boy is next in line, 2 clear of Bert's Brother Ernie, and No Control brings up the rear as they move to head stretch. And from the outside, it's Soul Brother driving on to clear the top from Fun Bunch. Add a Penny 3rd, Mark Said Go 4th, opening up in 28 seconds flat. In front of the stands for the first time on the inside, Soul Brother, but here's Fun Bunch to reclaim the lead under the wire with 5/8 to go. 2.5 more at a penny, racing just off the rail in third. Gap of 4 to Mark Said Go, who's 2 in front of Mr. Cantwell. A span of 3 lengths farther back to Roger Wallbanger. Up alongside is Nukes Express. Rock's Big Boy is following that move. Then 2 more to Bert's Brother Ernie, and No Control is last. Fun Bunch back on top as they hit halftime and round the turn into the backstretch. It's Fun Bunch leading the way by 2 lengths. Tracked by the early leader, Soul Brothers back to second. Add a Penny remains in third. Gap of 4, Mark Said Go is fourth to the inside of Mr. Cantwell, who begins to mount a rally from 5th position. Then 3.5 more to Nukes Express, who passes Roger Wallbanger. Length and a half more to Bert's Brother Ernie, No Control, and Rock's Big Boy is backed up to last. Approaching 3/4, and Fun Bunch scoots clear by 5 lengths now, leaving Soul Brother behind. Add a Penny is off the rail, and continuing to rally 3 wide is Mr. Cantwell, moving to head stretch. It's Fun Bunch on top by 4 lengths. Being chased by Add a Penny, extreme outside. Mr. Cantwell, Nukes Express looks to come 4 wide for the drive as they pace through the stretch. And Todd Jones goes to work on Fun Bunch. He leads it by 3, but Mr. Cantwell is gaining ground rapidly with Nukes Express. Fun Bunch is shortening up. He's stopping. Mr. Cantwell takes the lead. Late pace Nukes Express for second, with Fun Bunch third and Add a Penny fourth. Back to the winner's circle comes Mr. Cantwell. 7-year-old bay gelded son of Johnny's Scooter out of Sweetwater by Osborne's Brett, owned by Janine Ross of Lebanon, Ohio. The winning trainer is David Perry, and the winning driver is Greg Grismore. Trophy in this race being presented by representatives with Medler Toledo, and we welcome them to the races tonight. Call to post for tonight's 4th race with exacted trifecta and pick 3 wagering. No changes in here. Here's a look at the field. Number 1 is Salty Socks. He's owned by Francis Schloss with Chip Noble. The 2 is Zerk, owned by the SmackDown stable with Todd Jones. 3 is Swingtown, owned by Paul Simpson. Jim Daly drives. 4 is Look Ted by Hagemeyer and Daly. Jack Daly in the bike. 5 is Cog, owned by Richard Fisher with Dan Noble. 6, Farm Out. William Heil, the owner. Jack Franklin, the driver. 7 is Wildwood Joe, owned by James Pichachero with Rick Heitman. And number 8 is Sand Power, owned by Bill Sanders with Del S. Miller. Now 3 minutes, post time in just 3. Pacers in the backstretch and approaching the start. And they're off. Zerk from the inside takes the lead. KOG leaves well from the center of the track, followed by Salty Socks. Up close between horses is Swingtown. Next is Look Ted, who drops into 5th position, about 6 off the pace, just in front of Farm Out. Then it's Wildwood Joe, and Sand Power is last. Moving around to head stretch for the first time, and Zerk and Todd Jones lead the way from KOG, who drops into the pocket second. Gap of 2 farther back to Swingtown in third. Salty Socks is fourth. Then 3.5 lengths back to the second flight, made up of Look Ted, Farm Out, Wildwood Joe, and Sand Power. Opening quarter, 28 seconds flat. Passing the stands for the first time, and it's Zerk leading the way. Zerk is on top by 2. Tracked by long shot KOG in the pocket second. Gap of 2 more. Swingtown is third. 2.5. Salty Socks is racing in fourth. Then 3 more lengths. Look Ted. Farm Out is next. Wildwood Joe takes to the outside, and Sand Power trails. Rounding the turn on their way to halftime, Zerk is carving out the fractions here. Zerk from KOG. And then it's Swingtown and Salty Socks the half in 58 seconds flat. Out of the turn and down the backstretch. And it's Zerk still on top. Zerk by 2.5 lengths. KOG drafting along in second, followed by Swingtown at the rail in third, and there goes Noble and Salty Socks. First over on the move on the outside in fourth. 2.5 more, and Look Ted comes to the outside to follow cover in 5th. Farm Out tightens down in 6th. And then we have Wildwood Joe and Sand Power. 3/4 are up in 1:27.3, moving ahead stretch. And it's still an open lead for Zerk. Zerk is on top by 3. Salty Sox continues to close in at the leader, has now made headway in a second. KOG is dropping back 3rd, followed by Swingtown, Look Ted, and Farm Out on the far outside as they pace through the stretch. And Zerk is under urging, still leads it by 2. Salty Sox is closing on the outside 2nd, followed by Swingtown with late pace in 3rd. Zerk is desperate. Here's Salty Sox. Swingtown on the outside. Salty Sox, Swingtown getting up. Then it was Salty Sox 2nd and Zerk 3rd. Is Swingtown scoring his 5th victory of the season. He's a 4-year-old brown gelding by Nuclear Legacy out of Lindsay's Beauty by Spicy Charlie. Owned and trained by Paul Simpson of Lebanon, Ohio. Jim Daly is the winning driver. 157.3 for Swingtown. 3-1 exacted, $10. The try, 3-1-2, $53.20. And trifecta wagering. Number 1 is Well Here I Am by Thomas Nurmi with Bill Irvin driving. 2 is Rosetta's Sergio, owned by Brookends 4 Racing, Ron Steck. 3 is Wesley's Chip, owned by Thomas Stubbs with Ty Van Roden. 4 is Lore Bob, owned by Walters and Norman. Bob Harper drives. 5 is Sean Be Gone, owned by Larry Fitzgerald, the driver Dan Ader. 6 is out. 7 is Dr. Schnell, owned by John Cantrell, Dan Reynolds. And the 8 horse is Ashwood Marty, owned by the Ashwood Farm with Dave Hawk. Now 4 minutes until post. And there they go. And they're off and trotting. Lore Bob goes straight for the lead with Sean Be Gone from up alongside. Well Here I Am. And Ashwood Marty is with the top flight. A gap of 2.5 more to Dr. Schnell, who comes away in 5th position just in front of Wesley's Chip. And going off stride on the turn was Rosetta Sergio, and that one is far back trailing the field. Lore Bob makes the tempo in here. The speedster, Lore Bob, is on top by a length and a half. Sean Be Gone ducked in 2nd. Well Here I Am is 3rd. Ashwood Marty looks to maybe come to the outside in 4th, followed by Dr. Schnell and Wesley's Chip, opening quarter, 29-4. Passing the stands for the first time. It's Lore Bob up top. Lore Bob by a length, but here comes Ashwood Marty with a brush to the lead. And then we have Sean Be Gone, who's now back to 3rd. Well Here I Am stays in 4th as Dr. Schnell moves up alongside. 2.5 more to Wesley's Chip, and about 12 lengths back to Rosetta's Sergio as they round the turn on their way to halftime. And the new leader is Ashwood Marty. It's Ashwood Marty by a length and a half. Lore Bob back to 2nd. Sean Be Gone is 3rd. Left uncovered, gaining ground. Dr. Schnell on the outside is 4th, followed by Well Here I Am, who now comes to the outside to pick up cover, and Wesley's Chip. The half goes in 1 minute and 3. Racing down the backstretch, it's Ashwood Marty on a comfortable lead. It's a length and a half. Dr. Schnell to the outside of Lore Bob. 2nd and 3rd, length and a half farther back, and we have Well Here I Am into contention 4th, only 3 off the tempo. Sean Be Gone from the inside is 5th, then 3 back to Wesley's Chip, who has just gone off stride, and off stride again, Rosetta's Sergio, 3/4 up in 1:31.3. Moving around ahead stretch, it's Ashwood Marty starting to open up now. Ashwood Marty by 2.5 lengths. Lore Bob is now 2nd, Sean Be Gone 3rd. Dr. Schnell could not sustain his bid, followed by Well Here I Am as they trot through the stretch. This one is Ashwood Marty. Ashwood Marty leads it by 3. Lore Bob is a clear-cut 2nd, followed by Sean Be Gone. And Well Here I Am is 4th. But in deep stretch, it's all Ashwood Marty drawing away. Lore Bob 2nd, Sean Be Gone 3rd. Second win this season, 202 flat. A 4-year-old brown stallion by Striking Sabra. And a Buzzin' Barb by Lola's Express. Some of the Ashwood Farm of Brecksville. Winning trainer is Marty Willem, and the winning driver is Dave Hawk. $9.20. The try 845, $62 even. They are for the sixth race. Exact and trifecta wagering. Number 1 is Voigt Hanover, owned by Terrell and Clark. Darren Mauser drives. The 2 is It's Carl Again, owned by Turbulent Air Inc. Jeff Neishunger. 3 is Nero's Trojan, owned by Michael Wilson with Roy Wilson the driver. 4 is Blue Lick Road, owned by Larry Richardson with Todd Jones. 5, Louis D, owned by Gwinnie Lou Stables Limited, Chip Noble in the bike. The 6 is Man with a Plan, owned by Craig DeLong with Elliott Deaton. Number 7 is Lightning Killeen, owned by Powell and Vic Roy, Rick Heitman. The 8 horse is William Cale's My Siren and Dave Hawk. 9 is Big Sky Country, owned by David Cooper with Mark Winters. And the 10 is Adam Quaiton by Noah Stover. And Roy Justice with Tony Rose. 4 minutes until post. Claiming pacers in the backstretch and ready for a start. And they're off. It's Carl Again, urged off the gate. Louis D from up alongside. Pressed on the inside by Voigt Hanover in third. Then we have Man with a Plan who settles back away from fourth. Along the rail, Nero's Trojan drives through from fifth position. And then we come down to Adam Quaiton. Next is Lightning Killeen. 3.5 lengths farther back to My Siren. Blue Lick Road and Big Sky Country is away last of the 10 as they move to head stretch. It's Carl Again. Hard used in the first quarter. Now clears off to lead it in 27-2. In front of the stands, It's Carl Again on a short lead. Louis D is driving up to challenge. Voigt Hanover is now back to third. Length and a half more. Nero's Trojan is fourth. As Man with a Plan gains ground on the outside in fifth. Adam Quaiton from the rail is sixth. Then it's Lightning Killeen, My Siren, Big Sky Country, and trailing Blue Lick Road. Rounding the turn on their way to halftime, the new leader is Louis D. It's Louis D by a length and a half. Along the inside, It's Carl Again is racing in second. Voigt Hanover third. Man with a Plan first over on the outside in fourth. Nero's Trojan is fifth. The half solid 56-3. Adam Quaiton moves to the outside to pick up cover in sixth and looks to circle up 3 wide there. Then it's 2 lengths farther back, and we come to Big Sky Country. Lightning Killeen is nearest the rail with My Siren and Blue Lick Road. They're tightening down considerably as they approach the 3/4. Louis D still leads it with Adam Quaiton rallying off cover into second position. It's Carl Again is gapped in third. Man with a Plan bows out fourth. 3 wide Nero's Trojan with Voigt Hanover at the rail. 127 flat for 3/4. Moving ahead stretch. And it's still Louis D with the lead. Louis D by 2. Adam Quaiton is second, followed next by It's Carl Again and Nero's Trojan as they turn into the stretch. Louis D under the whip leads it by 3. Adam Quaiton is all out in second, followed by It's Carl Again, Nero's Trojan, and Voigt Hanover. But Louis D is well clear in deep stretch, and Louis D goes on to win it. Adam Quaiton just holds on to second, Nero's Trojan third. 5-5-10-3, 1,354.60, and in the pick 3, 3 of 3, $38.20. Back to the winner's circle comes Louis D. Second victory this season for the 6-year-old bay horse by Noble Land Sam. Out of Cicely Hill by Falcon Almahurst and by Gwinnie Lou Stables Limited of Centerville, Ohio. Thomas Myers, the winning trainer. Chip Noble, the winning driver, 157, and that's good for a new lifetime best on Louis D. Here's your rundown for the 6th race. Voigt Hanover 4th. It's Carl Again was 6th. And the field for the 7th race is now on the track. Exact and trifecta wagering. 1 is Ab's Inspiration, owned by Charles Miller. The driver, Jeff Fount. 2 is Groomsman, owned by Frenchie Fuller. Kane Kaufman drives. 3, it's Pocket Money, owned by Connie Messler with Greg Grismore. 4 is Greg's Outlaw, owned by Dorothy Robinson. Tony Rose, the driver. 5 is Analog Man, owned by Hodkinson, Giuliani, and Puccio, Bill Long Jr. 6 is Captain Hubie, owned by Knight and Hubner, Jim Daly. 7 is Ralph Conley Jr.'s Metropolis and Dave Hawk, and the 8-horse Breezy Knoll Blue is owned by Frank Castle with Elliott Deaton. 4 minutes. In the backstretch, and there they go. And they're away and pacing. Metropolis from the far outside gets the first call. Just to his inside is Analog Man. And then we come to It's Pocket Money. Groomsman just in behind. Gap of 2 lengths farther back to Greg's Outlaw, who's about 5 off the early pace. Then we come down to Ab's Inspiration. 2 more to Captain Hubie. And the trailer is Breezy Knoll Blue. But it's an open lead for Metropolis, who leads 2.5 to the quarter, 26-3, passing the stands. And Hawk trying to throttle down Metropolis on the front end. It's Pocket Money hung out second. Groomsman is third as It's Pocket Money looks to dip into the 3-hole. Next in line we have Analog Man. Then it's 2 farther back to Ab's Inspiration. Greg's Outlaw caught on the outside. Captain Hubie second last. Breezy Knoll Blue is the trailer, 10 off the pace. Rounding the turn on their way to halftime. Up top, it's Metropolis. The old veteran Metropolis leads the pack by 1.5 lengths from Groomsman in second. It's Pocket Money, unable to find a seat, is hung out in third, and the half goes in 56-4. Along the rail, that's Analog Man, who's hemmed in fourth, only 3 off the lead. Then it's Greg's Outlaw, second over. Will need to go 3 wide in 5th position. Trying to rally from the back of the pack. Breezy Knoll Blue. Ab's Inspiration shuffle back to second last. And Captain Hubie trails, but the field is tightening down with 5/16 remaining. It's Metropolis, still on top by 2. Metropolis, Groomsman is second. Off stride goes the 4, Greg's Outlaw. And he took Breezy Knoll Blue out with him. Circling up 3 wide is Captain Hubie. 127-1. Moving ahead stretch. And Metropolis leads by a dwindling margin. Groomsman on the outside. Captain Hubie is coming well in the center of the track, and 4 lengths back to Analog Man as they turn for home now. Far outside, Captain Hubie. Metropolis towards the rail. Like Weary third is Groomsman between horses, but Captain Hubie gains the lead and opens up. Captain Hubie, Groomsman to go second, Metropolis third. It's official. Back to the winner's circle comes Captain Hubie. First win this season, 6-year-old Bay Stallion by Captain Gates. Out of Gay Jean by Ben-Hur Hanover. Owned by Donald Knight and Kay Hubner of Ohio. Donald Knight, the trainer. Jim Daly is the winning driver. 157-1 for Captain Hubie. And that's a double tonight for Jim Daly. 6-2 exact at $33.20. The triple, 627-30280. For the 8th race, making their way out of the paddock and onto the track. This one sponsored by Steeplechase Village Rentals with Exacta and Trifecta Wagering. Number 1 is Striking Sid, owned by Bob Sidley. The driver is Jamie Dunlap. From post 2, it's Captain Kiss by Jerry Zossel and Kathy Ratcliffe. Sandy Beatty is the driver. Next is the 3, Glory Bound, owned by Hodden, Shapiro, and Groden. Jeff Fout drives. Number 4, High on a Windy Hill, owned by the partnership of Miller and Young. Bill Irvin drives. Next, the 5, Rose Run Condo, owned by Fred and Pete Polk with Dave Hawk. The 6 is Fred Pickle, owned by Albert Grass with Chip Noble driving. 7, Magoo's Messenger, owned by the Parkview Stables with Kane Kaufman. And the 8 is Smoked Hickory, owned by Sharon Hedworth Adams with Greg Grismore. Now 4 minutes until post. The starting gate is rolling for the 8th race. Field for the 8th race, lined up in the backstretch and set to go. They're off. 2 of them were slow off the gate, Rose Run Condo and Smoked Hickory. and Glory Bound takes the lead. Fred Pickle from alongside, High on a Windy Hill comes away in third. 2.5 more, and we have Magoo's Messenger to the outside of Captain Kiss, and Captain Kiss is off stride. Then it's Striking Sid, who is also off stride, followed by Rose Run Condo and Smoked Hickory. So they're well spread out now as they move to head stretch, being led by Glory Bound. It's Glory Bound by a length and a quarter. Fred Pickle looks to drive out early and now ducks back in, opening quarter, 29 seconds flat. Passing the stands for the first time, it's Glory Bound, the 1-5 favorite on a comfortable 2-length lead from Fred Pickle in second. 2 lengths farther back, High on a Windy Hill is third. Then we span 3 farther back to Magoo's Messenger in fourth. Rose Run Condo comes to the outside in fifth position, has 6 to make up. Smoked Hickory looks to follow that move, and then far back to Striking Sid, and Captain Kiss is last. Rounding the turn on their way to halftime. Up top, it's Glory Bound. Glory Bound from Fred Pickle, High on a Windy Hill, is angled off the cones from third, followed next by Magoo's Messenger in fourth. Rose Run Condo the outside is fifth, and Smoked Hickory is sixth, off a half in 1 minute and 2/5. Trotting down the backstretch, this one is all Glory Bound. It's Glory Bound by 2. Fred Pickle and High on a Windy Hill are second and third, and they're 5 clear of Magoo's Messenger, who's struggling to keep up in fourth position. Smoked Hickory looks to rally, still has 6 to make up, and then about 10 lengths farther back to Striking Sid. 3/4 up in 1:30 and 3 as they move around to head stretch. Glory Bound still unchallenged on the lead, still leads it by 2. Fred Pickle in second. High on a Windy Hill is trying to maintain his ground on the outside third, and circling up 3 wide. Smoked Hickory has 5 to make up, and they turn in the stretch. And it's Glory Bound. Glory Bound by 3 lengths. Fred Pickle is second, late trot on the outside. Smoked Hickory followed by High on a Windy Hill, but Glory Bound is taking off late to win it. Fred Pickle second, Smoked Hickory third. This mile, Glory Bound, 3-year-old brown colt by Queen's Guard out of Ambernath by Dream of Glory, owned by the partnership of Houghton, Shapiro, and Groden of Ohio and Florida. D. Houghton, the winning trainer, and Jeff Fout is the winning driver. 3-6 exacta, $9.80. The try 368, $156.40. Field for the 9th race, now on the track. Exacta trifecta pick 3 wagering, no changes in race 9. Number 1 is Western Playboy, owned by Francis and Milton Schloss. The driver is Jeff Fout. The 2 is Newcastle Stables, Rigiderus and Del S. Miller. 3, Pay Overtime, owned by Walter Douglas Miller with Dave Hawk. The 4 is Meadowland Merlin by Hoovler and Metters, Jamie Dunlap drives. 5 is Lifestream Mindale, owned by Westgate Motors with Chip Noble. The 6, Mr. Tambourine Pan, is owned by Moffitt and Williams, Kane Kaufman. 7 is Kelly Tuck Zach, owned by Thomas Osborne with Mark Winters, and the 8 is Hot Rod Jack, owned by Bohm and Napoli, Jack Franklin. Post time in 4 minutes. Ninth race field lined up, and there they go. They're off. Pay Overtime is first away. Western Playboy gets the pocket in second. A length and a half back, Rigiderus third. Meadowland Merlin drops in fourth, followed next by Lifestream Mindale. Then it's Mr. Tambourine Pan, Kelly Tuck Zach, and Hot Rod Jack. 20 lengths cover the field as they roll to head stretch, with Pay Overtime opening up by 3. On Western Playboy in second, 2.5 more, Rigiderus third, Meadowland Merlin, Lifestream Mindale. Then it's Mr. Tambourine Pan, Kelly Tuck Zach, and Hot Rod Jack, 28-1 for the opening quarter. In front of the stands for the first time, Pay Overtime is leading the way. Pay Overtime by a length and a half. Western Playboy traveling along in second. Gap of 2. Rigiderus sits the 3-hole, followed by Meadowland Merlin in fourth. Brought to the outside, Lifestream Indale fifth. And moving with the cover now is Kelly Tuck Zach. Then it's Mr. Tambourine Pan at the rail, and third over in the developing cover flow is Hot Rod Jack. Rounding the turn on their way to halftime, it's Pay Overtime up top. Pay Overtime leads to a half in 1 minute flat, backing it down to 31-4 on the second quarter. Rounding the turn into the backstretch, Pay Overtime is in the lead. Pay Overtime by a length. Lifestream Mindale has worked his way into second. Western Playboy saved ground third. Second over Kelly Tugzak is 2.5 off the lead, racing in fourth, followed by Rigidorous, who's now locked in fifth. Third over on the outside is Hot Rod Jack, followed by Meadowland Merlin, who's second last to the trailer, Mr. Tambourine Pan. They're at the three quarters. Pay Overtime has a challenge in the way of Lifestream Mindale, 129 flat. Moving around to head stretch. Pay Overtime the neck in front. Lifestream Mindale continues to bear down, and tipping 3 wide off cover is Kelly Tugzak. Western Playboy is just in behind, followed 2 farther back by Rigidorous, who shakes loose, and they turn into the stretch. Pay Overtime still on top by a length and a half. Still closing is Lifestream Mindale. Kelly Tugzak on the outside is in gear. Pay Overtime is desperate. Lifestream Mindale, Kelly Tugzak, those three at the wire together. Tight between those three, 157 and 3. That's a double tonight for Dave Hawk. This time he scores with Pay Overtime, a 3-year-old big eldest son of Pay de Almahurst out of C Overtime by Triple Overtime. Owned by Walter Miller of Latham, Ohio. Sean Barker trains. Dave Hawk in the bike. First win this season for Pay Overtime, 157 and 3. 3.5 exacta, $38. Try 357, 188.20. Pan was 7th. Kelly Tugzak was 3rd. Hot Rod Jack was 8th. And from the top down, 4-6-1, 5-2-7. Here they are for the 10th race. One is Isaiah 40-31, owned by James William Scruda with Patrick Brown. The 2 is Big Stormy, owned by Banks and Holland. Dave Hawk drives. 3 is Joe P. Cadet, owned by William Doran with Jason Moore. 4 is Beaumont, owned by Robert Grubon Jr. Elliot Deaton drives. 5 is Civil Sam, owned by Radcliffe and Zossel Dean Collins. 6 is CR Colorado Kid by Willard and Haynier. Carmen Haynier drives. 7 is Willie Hunter, owned by Virgil Hunter with Darren Mauser. The 8 is Hunter. Jim Pollock Jr., the owner. Kane Kaufman drives. And the 9 is Bell Matlantic, owned by Metters and Lineberger with Jamie Dunlap. 4 minutes. In the backstretch and approaching the start. And they're off. Very, very even beginning. CR Colorado Kid, Beaumont from between horses. Civil Sam is driving through. Big Stormy at the rail. Followed by Hunter, extreme outside. Bell Matlantic. Followed by Isaiah, 40-31. And then we have Willie Hunter and Joe P. Cadet as last. Moving around to head stretch, CR Colorado Kid, but the big favorite Civil Sam is driving up after the top spot. Then we have Beaumont in 3rd, gap of 2. Hunter is 4th, followed by Bell Matlantic and Big Stormy, opening quarter in a quick 27 and 4. In front of the stands for the first time, and Dean Collins draws off with Civil Sam to lead it by a length and 3/4. CR Colorado Kid is back to 2nd. Beaumont is traveling along in 3rd. Another 2 lengths farther back to Hunter in 4th, and that one comes to the outside. Bell Matlantic looks to pick up the cover, followed by Big Stormy, and then it's Isaiah 40-31, Joe P. Cadet, and Willie Hunter is last. Rounding the turn on their way to halftime, it's Civil Sam on the lead. Civil Sam, CR Colorado Kid. Hunter is first over, gaining ground on the outside 3rd. Beaumont is 4th, and the half goes in 57 and 2. Second over on the outside 5th is Bell Matlantic. Then we come down to Big Stormy. Another 2 more lengths to Isaiah 40-31, who's got about 8 to make up. Then 3 more to Joe P. Cadet, and losing touch with the field is Willie Hunter. 5/16 of a mile remaining as they head for the far turn. Up top, it's Civil Sam. Civil Sam widens the advantage to 3 lengths now. CR Colorado Kid being called on for more, followed by Beaumont. Hunter is retreating on the outside, and then it's Big Stormy and Bell Matlantic in 126. Moving to head stretch, Civil Sam is pouring it on now. He leads it by 4. CR Colorado Kid, Beaumont comes to the outside, followed by Big Stormy as they turn into the lane. And Civil Sam is leading it by 3 now. CR Colorado Kid is second outside Beaumont with Big Stormy at the rail, but it's all Civil Sam, much the best in here. CR Colorado Kid, Beaumont third, 155-1. The 10th race is now official. 5-6 exacted, $13.40. The try 5-6-4, 96.20. Heading for the winner's circle is Civil Sam. His first win of the season, 155-1, and that is a lifetime best. 5-year-old brown gelded son of Noble Land Sam, out of Civil Disobedience by Falcon Almahurst. Owned by Kathy Radcliffe and Jerry Zossel of Ohio. Dean Collins trains and drives. For the 11th one is My Man Chris, owned by Eddie George. Greg Grismore drives. 2 Nitro Listen, owned by Ronald Barker with Bill Long Jr. 3 is Flashy Scooter, owned by K. Rush with Chip Noble. 4 is Lookout Crown Magic, owned by Colors and Rice, Terry Groves. 5 Scootin' Photon, owned by Ann Kirk, the driver Dave Hawk. 6 Rob D. Hanover is owned by Stephen Kaufman with Trent Tharps. Farther back to the 7, Lasting Jeff, under lease to Jeff Brewer with Elliot Deaton. The 8 is L.R. Cole, owned by Gus Hall with Darren Mauser. 9 is Bean Soup, owned by Allison Hensler with Jeff Fout. And the 10 horse is Good Allegras, owned by Stephen Watkins with Jeff Nysonger. 4 minutes to race 11. And there they go. And they're off. And the favorite, Lookout Crown Magic, goes straight to the lead. Nitro Listen is there towards the inside with Flashy Scooter up alongside. Then we have Scootin' Photon, who comes away in 4th position. Nearest the rail is My Man Chris, followed by Rob D. Hanover on the outside. And then we come to Good Allegras, Bean Soup, Lasting Jeff, and L.R. Cole. Moving ahead stretch, and Terry Groves leads the way. Lookout Crown Magic. Lookout Crown Magic on top by 2. Nitro Listen second, followed by Flashy Scooter third, and Scootin' Photon is 4th through an opening quarter in 28 3/5. In front of the stands for the first time, it's Lookout Crown Magic on a comfortable 2-length lead. Nitro Listen drafting along in second. Flashy Scooter third. Scootin' Photon is 4th. Span of 3 to My Man Chris in 5th position. Then it's Good Allegras to the inside of Rob D. Hanover, who starts it up from 4th last. And then we have Bean Soup, Lasting Jeff, and L.R. Cole trails the field. Moving around to halftime, Lookout Crown Magic leads the way. Lookout Crown Magic from Nitro Listen second. Flashy Scooter third. Scootin' Photon 4th. Rob D. Hanover has worked his way into 5th, a half, and 58-4. Along the rail, My Man Chris backpedals to 6th. Up alongside is Good Allegras, followed by Lasting Jeff, Bean Soup, and L.R. Cole is gapped out, trailing the spread outfield. It's covered by 20 lengths. 5/16 of a mile remaining as they head for the far turn. Lookout Crown Magic called on for his best as Scootin' Photon draws up alongside. 2 more to Nitro Listen, third. Flashy Scooter 4th in 1:27-3. Moving around to the top of the stretch. And Scootin' Photon is collared Lookout Crown Magic, who is under the whip in second. Gap of 2, Nitro Listen off the rail in third, followed by Flashy Scooter in 3 back to Lasting Jeff. They turn in the stretch. Scootin' Photon leads it now by a length and a half. Lookout Crown Magic trying to fight back in second, followed by Flashy Scooter and Nitro Listen, but it's Scootin' Photon home on top. Getting up for second was Flashy Scooter, Lookout Crown Magic third, and Nitro Listen was 4th. 4-year-old bay gelded son of Ruark, out of Lady Leebrook by Direct Scooter, owned by Ann Kirk, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr., and driven to victory by Dave Hawk. That's 3 on the night for Hawk, 157-2, a lifetime best for Scootin' Photon. 5-3 exacta, 8280, Super 5-3-4-2, 1,871.60, and in the late pick 3 of 3 correct, $990.60.